You're a professional, right? So you want to project a persona of professionalism on camera, don't you? Well, not so fast. You could be doing harm to your business just by trying to do the right thing. Oh, this would have been so much easier if the Mayans had been right. In a moment, why the Mayan calendar has been so misunderstood and what it means for your video marketing. So the world is going to end on December 21st, 2012, according to the Mayan calendar. Not only is this wrong, it has huge implications for your marketing. You see, the Mayan calendar seems to work as if humanity moves in a straight line and never deviates from its ultimate destiny. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, our progress is not linear. It's not even cyclical. It's more like a pendulum, swinging between one extreme and another, making your ads effective in one year and ruining them in the next. Hi, I'm Stephen Washer with BrainyVideo.com. In this video, I want to show you why being the ultra-professional might be the worst possible approach to talking to your potential customers today. I just finished reading The Pendulum by Roy Williams and Michael Drew. They make a powerful case that all developed human societies move from me time to we time in 40-year increments. In the me time marketing paradigm, it's best to talk to people about their aspirations and potential. And in the we time marketing, you need to talk to people about how they can fit in. But the critical part of all this is how the we part, or what the authors call civic time, takes shape, because each cycle it works differently than the one before it. Now, in the last civic cycle, which took place from 1923 to 63, we marketing was all about conformity, keeping up with the Joneses. Now, let's fast forward over the whole 40-year period of me marketing, because that's over. And that lands us in 2003, the pivot year of the new civic cycle. The way we marketing must take shape has to do not with conformity, but with conformity to a whole new set of rules. And the way this cycle has been forged is through the demand for authenticity. Of course, authenticity can mean anything you want it to. These days, you can't go into a grocery store without half the packages of frozen vegetables shouting, "Authentic, natural," from the freezer case. And that's part of it. In this cycle, authenticity is a reaction against artifice and phoniness and brute strength marketing, push marketing. It manifests in the desire to see you warts and all. It seeps into our brains through the popular culture. And that's why since 2003, movies and music have been all about deeply flawed heroes rather than awesomely perfect heroes, because heroes are a concept of the me, or idealistic cycle, not the we, or civic cycle. Now here, the virtues of relationship and taking small incremental action are valued a lot more highly than grand gestures and the larger-than-life action hero. Perfection is actually something to be avoided, because that means that you're being a phony. And for video and business in particular, this is a huge problem, because in video, the whole concept of fake it till you make it doesn't work and never did work. But now that people demand to see you at your most real, no matter what that means, faking it is more dangerous than ever. You just can't do it, and you must not try to do it. A wise man once told me that what you say is not as important as who you are when you say it. Nowhere is that more relevant than in video. Where your head is when you hit that record button is more important than where your script is. You should never make an upbeat video when you've just gone through a tragedy, or don't try to sell in a video when you aren't 100% sold yourself. So it's a much bigger sin than it used to be the phony or standoffish person, at least until 2023. And if you're a coach or a speaker, if you're in a business that teaches and inspires people to reach for the stars, I'm almost willing to bet you're having problems if you're talking to people in those terms. You need to understand that since 2003, those kinds of messages are being filtered out by the new BS meter that says, stop trying to sell me, and for God's sake, show me who you really are. But if this is your authentic message, you'll need to translate the idea of personal transformation into maybe, why we're all in this together. And you've got to be authentically you while you're doing it, or video will be the single worst way to get this out, because in video, unlike print, you have nowhere to hide. However, that also makes video the single most valuable way to get your new message across. There's just no better way to communicate your authentic self than in a video. And then there's no telling how far you can go. You know, there's a reason video is about to become 90% of all content on the internet. And if you don't embrace it soon, it won't matter anymore because someone in your niche is going to. They're going to run with it and succeed beyond their wildest dreams because either they've already intuitively figured this out or they're willing to learn to do it better and better and better until they can't be caught. Until the pendulum starts to swing in the opposite direction. But we've got a good 10 years before we even need to think about that. In our blog and in the Video Brain Trust, we're all about helping you strike the tricky balance between professionalism and reaching your market in an authentic way. And a huge part of this is who you are when you're saying what you're saying. So if you go to Brainy Video and sign up for this free broadcast, you'll get the Video Fast Start Kit with a cool guide to being your authentic self on camera. Oh, one little story before we go. At the turn of the last century, a social critic saw the pendulum concept being demonstrated in the plays of Anton Chekhov. He wrote The Seagull, The Cherry Orchard, Uncle Vanya. He started a whole school of naturalistic acting with Stanislavski, which led to Marlon Brando and finally The Simpsons. Anyway, that critic said, "Nothing happens in a Chekhov play except that one world ends and another begins." This has happened before, and it will happen again. That's why I don't believe the Mayans meant for 12-21-12 to be the end of the world. They probably figured we'd blow ourselves up way before then. And if you're still not convinced, think about this. Very successful traders in the stock market always say, don't fight the trend. I think that's good advice for marketers too. Right now, the trend is anti-me and pro-we. So reach for the stars, but keep your feet on the ground. I'll be working on this concept more and more in my own videos. Maybe we'll be working on it together. Till next time, I'm Steve Washer with BrainyVideo.com.